Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another video tonight. My deepest apologies for not uploading some content yesterday. Unfortunately, not so unfortunately, there was a soldier in my unit that needed to be replaced on his CQ shift because he had a personal emergency. So my unit sent yours truly, the White Mexican, to salvage the day. So that was the reason why I did not upload a video yesterday, but I'm going to make up for that right now. I have a plethora of really pretty awesome cards that I want to review with you guys today that I'm going to be showcasing. So let's just get right into this, get down to business. First card is going to be Retort. This is a solo print secret rare, Dawning from Abyss Rising. Really awesome set. There has been a few other channels that have talked about this card, and I definitely can't take credit for kind of bringing this card to putting the spotlight on it. But I have a couple copies of this myself. This is I think this is it's a mirror match card. That's just what I want to say. It's a side card for a mirror match. For in a meta where there's a lot of people playing the same deck, this is a good side card. It's a counter trap, solo print secret, and it's just a really great counter trap for a mirror match. First editions are going to be about 3 bones, and they slowly trickle up after that. Only 3 pages left of this, so definitely significantly less of these on the market now. Next card is going to be kind of an obscure card because it's a hero card. Apparently, I mean, I'm assuming it's a hero card because it's Duelist Pack 6, and it says Heroes Rule 2, but it doesn't have anything to do with hero archetypes, so it's kind of strange. But this is just a generic counter trap card, which is very, very important. It's the fastest card in the game. And it negates everything. Magic, trap, monsters effect that specifically designate targets in the graveyard. So just the pure diversity of this card and the sheer fact that it's a counter trap is really incredible. Also, something that's really cool too, apparently it's a solo print. And it came out a very obscure set for a solo print, Duelist Pack 6, Jaden Yuki 3. So I thought that was pretty unique that it came out of this pretty random set, and apparently it's a solo print. First editions, pretty much all across the board, well under $1, and there's 5+ pages, so this is definitely available. But I just think this is a really great card. This isn't the first time that I've showcased this, to my understanding, but I just wanted to put a little spotlight on it. Next is going to be Chaos Trap Hole. There's a couple different versions here. The best one being the super rare from OTS Tournament Pack 3. These are the versions I've personally invested in. Really cool card. Now, I am fully aware that we have all pretty much the Solemn cards almost completely unlocked. You know, Judgment just came to 3. I want to say, yeah, Strike is still at 3. Judgment just came to 3. Warning, I think, is the only one that's hit to 1 right now. But we have the Solemn Brigade all running strong, which is pretty great. There is a lot of popular decks that just come and go constantly throughout the history of the game. Light and Dark base decks have just been around forever, and they're just very, very vital to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's just another great counter trap card to just have some good negation, stop boards. Pretty cool artwork too, and it's really cheap. This is the highest rarity, and this card is under $1, like all across the board. And there's 5 pages of this, so I think this is a really fantastic alternative. Really quickly, I'm going to go into Magic Deflector. I've reviewed this card in the past, quite a while ago now. It's been a while since I've showcased this. A couple different versions. Pretty sure that this is the highest rarity as a super rare Dawning from OTS Tournament Pack 3. But I just think this is really cool because it just locks down all Magic cards. Equip, Field, Continuous, and Quick Play. I guess the only thing that doesn't stop is normal Magic cards. But it's still very, very diverse. And this is really cheap as well. Still to this day, it's like under $1 for this highest rarity, this print. and 4 pages left on this, so I just wanted to quickly review that. Alright, next is going to be a zombie support card. Now, there's two versions. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and look at the original print first editions from Breaker of Shadow. Both are commons. This is kind of like a techie card that's actually used in like kind of like zombie horde builds, like Balan Roach and Banshee and all that stuff. Sometimes people tech in the Shiranui stuff, and this is just a pretty great. It's like an Icarus attack, except for zombies. Of course, you have to run some kind of Shiranui engine, but the Shiranui engine is, I think personally, it's to a certain extent, it's pretty cool. More particularly because of this card, I like this card a lot. It's got a lot of destruction power behind it. It's about a $50 for the first editions, pretty much all across the board, and then 5+ pages for this card. Alright, so the virus cards. So these are some of my all-time favorite trap cards. Ever since the structure deck Gates of the Underworld came out, and I've been an avid Dark World player ever since the structure deck came out. I've always been really fascinated with mixing in the virus cards because, of course, kind of like Dark Lair, Dark World is just like ideal for running these cards. My favorite, kind of hands down, I think it's kind of safe to say, maybe Crush Card is probably like the player's choice favorite, but my personal favorite is Eradicator Epidemic Virus. One, because Eradicator Epidemic Virus, the name itself just sounds so legendary. Really awesome artwork. It's got like this crazy, I want to say this is like Japanese kanji or something on the skulls here. Really, really cool artwork. And it's just a blowout effect. You can take out all your opponent's magic cards or all their trap cards. And this is just, I love this card. This is just an all-around awesome card. There's several different versions, which we'll take a look at in a moment, but this is the original print. Secret Rares, again, Secret Rare, gotta love it. From Breaker, Force of the Breaker, even the Unlimiteds, and this card's always seen relatively good value. For the longest time, I'm pretty sure it was limited to 1 for quite a while. It's fully unlocked now, to my understanding. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, that it's at 3 right now, and that's just like insane that this card is at 3 right now. Anyway, the Unlimiteds are already 37 plus. Let's go ahead. First edition on the bottom of page 2 here is already up to 63 bones, and then there's only 2 pages of this card in its original print version. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other versions. I know there is some super rare versions. I think it was a special edition promo, I want to say. We got the ultra rare reprints from Legendary Collection Kaiba, an amazing set, and then the Duelist Genesis special edition super rare promo. So I would say the Secret, obviously, it's really pricey, but it's really, really nice. Highest rarity. We don't have an ultimate rare version of this card. I don't know if he ever will. But the Secret Rares is very, very nice. Really pricey. I really don't like this ultra rare. You guys can probably, I always kind of complain about ultra rare. It's definitely not my favorite rarity. So I would even take the Duelist Genesis super rares. I have tons of these. I really like. They look nice. And yeah, so my top picks would be either the super rares or the secret rares personally, and then just a plethora of other comments here. So I'm not going to cover Crush Card Virus, just because a few videos back I did do some pretty good coverage on the gold and ultimate rare and all that stuff, and yeah, I'm just gonna. Everyone kind of knows about Crush Card. As for time saving purposes, I just kind of wanted to put it on the back burner and focus more on the other 3 virus trap cards. So Deck Devastation Virus, again, I really love the names of these. Deck Devastation Virus, it's such a really legendary name here. Really awesome artwork. Again, it's got like the viral contagion looking thing with the kanji looking stuff on it. This is the original print Ultimate Rares, dawning from Flaming Eternity. There's several different other prints that you guys can kind of check out. I know there's super rares. There's probably ultra rares. I think I got an ultra reprint from Duelist Pack or Legendary Collection Kaiba as well. For today, for time purposes, because there is a lot of cards that I want to showcase and feature in this video, I'm just going to review the highest rarity as the ultimate rare. Unlimiteds are about 20 bones. First editions are 30, and then they double up all the way to about 35. And there's 3 pages left for this card here on TCG Player. And the last viral card that I wanted to review with you guys today was the somewhat older one now. I never heard of this one. I don't even know if this one, if it's part of like the original. Probably not part of the original virus cards. But so the last virus card is Full Force Virus. Now a lot of people complain about this, and they really say it's the weakest out of all of the virus trap cards. And it's a secret rare, dawning from Raging Tempest. It had another secret reprint from the Megatins, I believe, and I think some common prints. But this is the original version. Raging Tempest was pretty cool. That was the set that we got all the Zodiac stuff and all the shenanigans from that set. But I still think that this is still it's still up there. I guess obviously, I mean, my personal opinion, obviously, it's when you compare it to Deck Devastation and Eradicator Epidemic, I would definitely opt to play the original two over this one. But this one has still really cool artwork, and it's really cheap. It's significantly cheaper, like way cheaper than the Ultimate and first and secret rares of Eradicator and Devastation viruses. And this is still very high rarity. This is secret rare. You get original print. First editions is like about $1 if you factor in shipping here for the first edition, and then about less than $2 after that. And there's still a good amount, 5+ pages on the market. So I personally invested into many copies of this original print first editions just because it's a nice rarity, and you never know. The meta is always kind of evolving, and maybe one day this card could take the top spot for the virus cards. So that's definitely something to consider. Next is going to be evenly matched. So I run 3 of these in pretty much every single deck that I build. I love this card. This card is such a game changer. And when you're in a really tight spot, this card is just so blowout. If you play at the right time, it's just such a good card. And you can see it's always been a valuable card. Even like the lowest rarity from Dual Power, it's like 30 plus bones here. The secret rare reprints from the 2018 Megatins, which are actually the versions that I have. These are really nice. They're like 30 plus. And then, obviously you have the original secret rares from Circuit Break, which are really nice. This is a really mainstream meta card. I'm not going to really go spend too much time on it. I just kind of wanted to like highlight it really quick and just emphasize the importance of it's an expensive card. I wouldn't necessarily go and buy the singles because they're so expensive. I would definitely try to trade for it. I would not buy like these products specifically trying to pull these cards. Although I did have really good luck. I have a funny story really quick, and I apologize, it's kind of going down a rabbit hole. But the whole reason why I invested very heavily, I think I got like, I want to say 2 or 3 cases of the 2018 Megatins is because I was banking on them reprinting the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring Hand Trap. And because, they were reprinting this stuff from Maximum Chaos, or I don't remember exactly what the set is, but the set that the original first edition or the secret rare Ash Blossoms came out, and that's like, and then they skipped over it. They completely did not put Ash Blossoms secret rare reprints in the Megatins, and I was pissed. I was so pissed. But I actually did very well. I actually pulled several of evenly matches reprints, which was really great because I needed that card. I didn't have that card at the time, as well as Dual Power. It's kind of interesting. I pulled more secret rare Megatin evenly matches than like the cases and cases and cases of Dual Power that I bought. Dual Power was the first time that we got kind of this all ultra rarity set, and it had like really crazy, like awesome reprints. Um, I want to say kind of like era one of this was Dual Saga, Dual Saga, or yeah, Dual Saga. I can't remember that name. Anyway, but it's different because Dual Saga, of course, had like the really nice, like unique ultra rare foiling, which I talk about all the time. But anyway, just a really great card. Moving on, Get Out. So this is pretty cool. This is like to a certain extent, it's like a double compulse. It's like a double one of these compulsory evacuation device, I believe it's called. Really cool old school card that came out of Invasion of Chaos, which is an awesome Generation 1 core set that I love a lot. Really nostalgic to me. But anyway, this card's pretty great. It's kind of situational, and it's got some stipulations to kind of play it, and it's a trap and it's normal. It's a little bit slow. Really great artwork though. And it's holding pretty good value. I mean, I wouldn't personally buy it right now because I think it used to be a little cheaper if I'm remembering. I think it was around like the more like $4 or $5 price point for the first editions. It's a new card, so of course it's still a solo print, and it's sitting at $6+ for the first editions, and then just kind of goes up after that, 5+ pages. So I don't know. I still personally would much rather run compulsory evacuation device, just because I mean I don't know. It's just a little bit more flexible, and I'm kind of just like an old school player, and I like the nostalgic Gen 1 cards. And there's also a lot of great rarities for this as well, like Dual Terminal and Secret. I would definitely check this card out. This card was at 1 for the longest time, and it got fully unlocked, and then everyone kind of like stopped caring about it. It was insane, and I picked up so many copies of that card because I love it. Next card is gonna be Dark Beginning, Dark Bribe. This card's really cool. This is kind of like an anti-meta slash counter fairy slash kind of just diverse defense, whatever you want to do. The cost is pretty high because it gives your opponent a +1 per save. It's kind of a 1-for-1 though. It's kind of like a -2 for you because you're activating it, so you're using a resource, and then they draw a card, so they gain a resource, but then you negate one of their cards. So um, it's kind of like a plus minus depending on how you want to look at it. Several different versions here. The Dark Legends, I'm not going to go too deep in it because Dark Legends is always relatively expensive. The Ultra is the highest rarity, and it's definitely a lot of money here. My personal favorites though are the super rare game promos, which I'm losing my bearings here. Where is why is it not here? It's very strange. Alright, so it's really strange. I don't know why the super rares. These got a lot of common reprints. Back in the day, like this only had like the ultra rare and the super rare, and it didn't really have, and not like the one Warriors structure deck reprint. Oh, here it is, right here. It looks like a common here. It's strange. Anyway, so this is my personal favorite. It's the super rare from the GX Tag Force 2. And this card's price point is kind of fluctuated. I really like the artwork. It's pretty silly artwork. It's cool. I enjoy silly artwork. But again, just another cool, diverse counter trap card. You can either negate a magic or trap, and gives your opponent a +1 for the hand. And these are about $3-ish, and there's only 3 pages left. Again, there's kind of something special about game promos. I really love Parallel Secret and Super Rare game promos. Those are kind of like my favorite rarities for game promos. And there's just something cool about cards, especially cards that only come that were like manufactured or printed in game promos. It's pretty cool because I don't know. It's just they're like harder to get, and it's just kind of cool to have those. Anyway, next card is going to be Dark Light. 2 versions of this. We have a common reprint and the original print coming from Photon Shockwave. This is kind of out of date. There's definitely multiple alternatives to this card. The reason why I was kind of thinking of this card is because of Dark Lair. The Dark Lair structure deck, you can see probably showcasing. I'm really surprised we're not showcasing this stuff, but the Dark Lair deck, that has, I don't know if that's even like the appropriate name, but the Dark Lair Drac, where you can, it has the field magic card where you contribute your opponent's monsters to pop off effects, and you can combo it with this card, and it's really good because you can basically tribute their monster, and then destroy all. You want to play this obviously on their turn. Your opponent goes for a big play. You have the Magic Field card out, and then you tribute one of their monsters. Or actually, I don't know. I think it was. I don't know if you can use this or not. Maybe I'm mistaking. I'm not really familiar with the deck. I've been kind of like researching it because I want to kind of try to like mix it in and blend it with a couple other builds that I've been trying to work on. So I don't know if that works. Don't quote me on that. It was kind of something I was thinking about. I could be wrong because I think maybe it's like you can only tribute monsters to activate dark monsters effects instead of like any kind of effect that has to revolve around tributes. I'm not sure, but that's what I was like. That was my mindset. That was what I was thinking personally when I wanted to showcase Dark Light. Really cool artwork too. And anyway, so this is the super rare version, dawning from Photon Shockwave. Pretty old set now, and it's super cheap. It's under a quarter all across the board, even for first editions. 5+ pages. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on here. So Different Dimension Ground. This card is really great, and for a while it had a pretty significant fluctuation in price point because people were citing it and kind of like it was like the bee's knees for like the side deck card for like a while. Not too long ago. I want to probably say like maybe 2018 or maybe even early 2019 if I'm not mistaken. We have a Dual Devastator, Ultra Rare, and Battles of Legend Light's Revenge, Ultra Rare. This is a really great set. I invested really heavily in this set. I really like this set a lot. The Secret Rare Denko Senkas are definitely like one of the MVPs for that set. I would definitely check those out. But my personal favorite is going to be the original print, of course, dawning from the very infamous Starstrike Blast. Something about this set everyone kind of knows. It's relatively difficult to get first edition prints, or just in general. I don't know if this set was like short printed or they just didn't manufacture a lot of it, or I don't know, but it just seems like it's really difficult to get stuff from Starstrike Blast for some reason. Really great card. So basically, it's a Dimensional Fissure for a turn, but it's cool because obviously you want to play. You set this, you play your opponent's turn. If they try to go on their plays, they start moving their stuff. It kind of causes problems for them. But you can turn it off. It's just a one-turn thing, so you can play on your opponent. Basically, like your opponent takes all the negs. He either stops his plays or he removes all his resources, and then it's your turn, and you can utilize your grave again. So that's what's kind of like the benefit of this card. Again, it has like the DD Warrior Lady thing. She's doing like the Saber Slash thing, and there's like some kind of like portal. Really cool artwork, original print, especially cool because it's Starstrike Blast. First editions are super cheap. Here's an 8 of first edition lightly played for $1. And then you factor in shipping, that goes to about $1.50. So pretty much they're all like $1, $2, and there's only 2 pages left of this. So I think this is still a fantastic choice and a fantastic side card, and it's just got so much going for it. Awesome artwork, Starstrike Blast, super rare hollow foil, and just a great side card in general. Moving on, so you guys know my stance probably by now about draw power. I'm all about turbo cards. Turbo cards, turbo cards, turbo cards. Drawing through your deck, getting to your resources, popping off your effects, and just going out and just like annihilating your opponent in the face. It's what the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about. It's a very beautiful thing. I love it. And we have all these versions. This is a very old card. This is actually the original rares came out of Frontier Guardian, which is a Generation 1 set. Really nostalgic, awesome, cool, Pharaoh-based theme set. But the highest rarities that we got was from Legendary Collection 3, Yugi's World. I love this set. I don't think I've made little to no videos where I don't feature Legendary Collections 3 and 4. They're just such phenomenal reprint sets. Anyway, these are the super rares. This is a pretty cool card. The first time I actually started running this card was actually in one of my old school Dark World builds. And still to this day, I try to kind of mix this in with a whole bunch of different decks, but mostly just my Dark World decks. Mostly my Dark World builds is what I use this card at 3. And first editions here are going to be almost about 3 bones. So definitely a pretty significant, somewhat significant price increase here. A little bit more difficult to get these first editions. About $3 all across the board, 4+ pages, and this is just a really great card. Waboku is another amazing card. This is the Dual Terminal 3, which is the highest rarity. Unfortunately, don't have a hollow foil of this yet, but this is another really great trap card. Which there's another card that I'm going to talk about a bit later that's going to be kind of like a watered down version of Waboku. Dimensional Barrier is going to be the next card. This is a really great side deck, side card. Back in the day, when this came out from Invasion Vengeance, the previous set before it, Raging Tempest, I believe, had the what's it called? Zodiacs. It was a Zodiac format. Zodiac formats were just XYZ summoning like crazy and just going ballistics crazy. And this card was really, really expensive. I think it got to like almost $100 at one point. Several different versions here. Everyone obviously is more interested per se in the original prints and Invasion of Vengeance first editions. Pretty cool artwork. It's got like the Marauding Captain looking dudes here, so it's pretty cool. Let's see. First edition is going to be about 5+. There's 5+ pages of this, so definitely plenty in the market for availability purposes. And then it starts to go to around $6 very quickly after that. Now, again, there is a perfectly healthy alternative, which is the same rarity, secret rare, from the 2017 Megatins. So what do we say? The original prints, first editions, were about $6-ish, $5 or $6. Now the Megatin versions are like $3. So yeah, about $3-ish plus with shipping. However you want to bend the costs here. Roughly around the same amount on the market for availability wise. So again, this is one of those examples where a card gets reprinted to the same rarity. It looks just as nice in my opinion. I know it's not original print, which definitely is going to hold more value and be older and harder to get, but I would personally go for these. I have no shame in getting a Megatin reprint. As long as it's not a degrade in rarity, I think that it's really great that Konami does this, or they did this. I know with the Gold Sarco tins, they changed the rarities up, but they used to do this where they would just reproduce the same rarities, and it really brought down the prices of the originals, so people could, that wanted the original prints, they could go and get them for cheaper value, and then also, puts more on the market and also makes it, the reprints are depending on the time frame, are significantly cheaper, so it makes it more affordable for players to get it, and they can still get it in its all natural beauty of its original rarity, which is really cool. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Judgment of Anubis. This is more for like collector's purpose. This is definitely it's cool that it has the burn damage, and I'm kind of just going to go into it in a little bit. A couple different versions. Obviously, the best is going to be the original print, secret rare from Dark Crisis. Dark Crisis is a Generation 1 set. DM era, just awesome, nostalgic, great collector value. Amazing artwork. Has the just like Egyptian atmosphere. Super cool. It's got, Anubis here, which is an Egyptian god. If you guys don't know, he's my favorite Egyptian god. He's really, really badass. And it's a counter trap card. There's a cost. You have to pitch. But it's pretty cool how you can, it has a little defense tactic to it. Then you can destroy opponent's monster. And then the thing that's cool is you can burn for the attack, which is pretty incredible. So not only does it do, now granted it does do a cost, but then again, if you're playing a deck where you want to get cards into the grave and you can pop off effects from the grave, because some cards, like aka Shadal's, you can pop off their effects in the grave as one of many. Burning Abyss. There's tons of different options where you want to get your cards in the grave. So it does a little defense tactic. You can potentially destroy opponent's monster and then do some burn damage to them. So that's pretty cool. Plus, it is a counter trap card, and it just has fantastic artwork, and it's a secret rare, which I just, I love secret rares, so why not? Unlimited's not really worth anything. Only 4 pages left here on the market for TCG Player. And no first editions on the second page. First edition that we're going to get is going to be roughly around $3 if you want to factor in shipping. And then on the fourth page, plenty of first editions. Well, kind of, or only one of. So this card's starting to dry up. I have tons of these. I always believed that this was going to be a collector's card just because of its age. It's an ancient card now. It has amazing artwork. And I don't really know if we'll see play or not. Probably not, but it has a lot going for it. And it's just it's the artwork. I gotta admit, it's the artwork. I really love the artwork, and just that it's a generation set secret rare, which back in the day you only got 2 secret rares per core set, so that's really cool. Alright, Floodgate Trap Hole is going to be the next card. We have the Speed Duels one, and then, of course, the 2 ultra rare prints. Let's go ahead and take a look at the original prints from the Dark Illusion. This is a really great card. I've always really liked the whole theme of the trap hole stuff, and of course now we have like not trick stars, trap tricks, which is like an all like their own archetype now, which is really cool. I loved how that just brought a whole new support system to all the trap hole trap cards. It's gonna be about $4. $4 plus shipping. You want to factor that in. These are all first editions on the first page, and there's 4 pages left, so about $4 for the original print. Let's go ahead and look at the, I want to say 2017, I believe, Megatins. 2017 Megatins, same rarity again, so reprinted, just kind of reincarnated here as an ultra rare again. And it's going to be about $3-ish. So this is kind of one of those examples where the reprint is pretty much almost equivalent to the original prints. You might as well just spend, the $1 or $2 more and get the original prints. Last card for this particular set is going to be Zero Force. This is a solo print common from Storm of Ragnarok, so really old set. This is pretty cool. I just think it's I don't know, I just really like this card. It's cool because it's a solo print, and it's easy to remove a card from play and then just completely just have everything go to 0 and just like run through it. And these like energy rings, it kind of reminds me of something from like Dragon Ball Z for some reason. I don't know. I think about like some kind of like Dragon Ball Z episode or something with these like energy rings things. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, it's just a common, super cheap, and playing in the market. But this is just kind of a card that no one really talks about, and I think it's for what it is and how old it is. It's still a pretty powerful card. All right, moving on to the next set of cards here is going to be Non-Aggression Area. This card is phenomenal. This is not by any means the first time I've showcased this card. I talked about this card a couple times. This is the original Prince Dawning from Pharaonic Guardian. Again, Generation 1 core set, DM era, nostalgic, collector's value, super old, awesome. Really awesome artwork too. And this card is slow because it's a trap card. You have to set it, and you have to it can only be activated during your standby phase, so it has like a really particular time you can activate it. But just the sheer fact that you pitch a card, and again, if you're playing a deck where you want stuff in your graveyard, or you pop off effects by cards going to the graveyard, it's just not really a neg for you at that point. But literally, look what it does. It literally stops your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! They can't normal summon, set, or special summon for a whole entire turn. That is insane. Like, that is such an insane, powerful effect. Now, yeah, you have to pitch a card and you have to have it set for a turn, and it's like slow and all that, and that's probably why a lot of players don't play this. I'll admit, I've never personally teched this in. I've never played it myself, but I always kind of forget about it. I use like I have my iPhone notes is kind of how I go and I make my notes, and I kind of organize my ideas and thoughts about building decks and like text and side deck stuff and stuff for content from this channel and all that. But this always kind of goes to the back burner, and every once in a while when I'm going through my notes, it comes up and I'm like, oh yeah, like I've been meaning to like tech this card in. This card is so good. Like this card like literally shuts down your opponent for a turn. So I think this is a great card. Um, and it's super cheap. It's just a common, and 5+ pages. So, and no one really knows about this card. I've never heard of anyone talking about this card. To my understanding, I think I'm the only one that's ever talked about this card, because just I don't think people just, it's so old, people just kind of forgot about it, and never really paid it any mind. But it's a good card. So Breakthrough Skill, Ultimate Rare. There's a couple of versions, ultra rares that came from Cosmo Blazer, but these are the highest rarities as ultimate rares. Fantastic artwork. I really really love the artwork. If I'm not mistaken, this kind of looks like Dolka. Dolka. I want to say this is Dolka from the XYZ monster from like Dino Rabbit era. Really amazing card, by the way, for the original print secrets, and I think there's a 10 secret as well. But anyway, I don't know if it is or not. That's just kind of like white Mexican perspective. That's just kind of what I think of. Pretty cool card. You can play it twice. You can remove it from the grave, and it's just an awesome ultimate rare. So and it's holding pretty great value. Unlimited start out at about $7, and the first edition that we get is $20. And there's only 2 pages left on the market here for this website for this card, and then it doubles all the way up to $50 for the last versions, which is pretty incredible. So I'm not really sure what's going on. This definitely isn't like a blowout card by any means, but it's pretty diverse, really cool, and it's an ultimate rare. So there's that. Fiend Comedian. So still to this date, this is a solo print dawning from the very, very infamous set of Legacy of Darkness. This was the set that we donned Yatagratsu, one of my favorite band cards of all time. Super awesome. And we got the censored artwork. Japan and the OCG got a completely different artwork, and you guys can check that out. It's pretty cool. But we got this kind of silly, goofy looking cartoony artwork. This is a really underrated card. I think this is a really great card. Again, I've been kind of messing around a lot with Shaddolls and Dark World and Lightsworn and just all this kind of like graveyard based decks, and this card is pretty great. And I don't know, I know this is like a chance card, but either way, like you kind of win, because you can remove all your opponents. You can clear out your opponent's graveyard, which is devastating for a lot of decks, or you can just burn a lot of cards from your deck to the grave, which, depending on what kind of deck you're playing, could be a really good benefit. So moving on here, let's see if we can find some first editions. There's about 5 pages of this. The first edition we're going to find is on the second page for about a half a bone. It's only a 1 of. There's a 1 of here for roughly around the same price. And the problem with this card is it's kind of hard to find stacks. So something like this being so cheap, you want to buy it in bulk. So you want to pretty much go over here and let's just take a look at the 3 ofs plus and see if we can find some first editions. So this is not bad. About half bone. There's a 3 of right here, and then 67 here, 12 of. So this will probably be your best bet. So not too many stacks, but this is just a really fantastic card. And no one talks about this card, and it's really old, and that's probably why. But it still deserves all the love in the world for being a badass card. Next card is going to be Psychic Overload. This is the ultimate version from Duelist Genesis. Really awesome set. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the set that we got Ultimate Rare and Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. One of my all-time favorite synchro cards, and just a very nostalgic anime card and collector card in general. Unlimited is not really anything. First editions, again, this is the ultimate rare versions. Of course, there's ultra rare versions, but this is the ultimate rare versions, which are really nice. Are we going to find any first editions? First editions have gone all the way up to 12 bones. And then they quickly go to 20. And then they double down all the way to 30. So this card has seen massive price increase. I've been talking about this card for a while. I mean, I want to say early 2018 was kind of when I started talking about this, mostly because it's just an old school ultimate rare, but it's generic. It's not really. Yes, it's psychic type, and there's a whole lot of different psychic archetypes out there. But just the sheer fact that it's just psychic type in general, it's not necessarily like a connected to an archetype. It's pretty cool. And now, granted, it's a trap. It's slow. You have to set it. You have to hope it doesn't get destroyed. But it's great draw power, and it's great. It's a great recycle factor, and it's great draw power. So, and again, it's an ultimate rare. So, and the Dual Genesis was a really cool set too. So that has definitely seen some pretty great growth, and I'm very proud of that because it's been quite a. I discovered that card quite a long time ago. I'm sure as a lot of people did, But it's just it's cool to kind of just see that come to pass. Anyway, another great card here is going to be Harpy's Feather Storm. There was a print out of Legendary Duelist Sister of the Rose, which I don't know if this is a super or a common. Oh, it's a super rare. So it's cool how they change this. Maybe I didn't know this before, but they show the rarities now on like the main menu, which is pretty cool. But this is really cheap. This is the super rare. But I wanted to care about this. I mean, now granted, yes, it's a Legendary Duelist set, so those cards are relatively hard to get. Which my opinion on that is no one really cares about those sets when they first come out because no one buys them. Like there's not really a lot of good cards, but then they just become collectability value because no one really buys into those sets, so they kind of just go away and like it's kind of like a corner of the market thing or a monopoly. People that have them are like the only people that have them, and they just kind of charge whatever they want because no one really spends the time or the money to actually invest into those sets. Personally, I mean, besides collectors, which you can be a player and a collector. You can definitely play both hands. Anyway, this is the Dual Saga version again with the like laser beam looking ultra rarity, which is the only set to date in the TCG that has done this rarity, which is really cool on its own merit. It's just a blowout card. This is you don't even have to play this. Well, hold on. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's made for harpies because you can play it for your hand and all that, but it's just pretty much generic for a wind winged beast, which is plenty of cards out there, such as like Raid Raptor and all that, which is hyped to get some more support and be pretty good here in the near future apparently. And then it's cool how it has this little thing right here too, how you can add Harpy's Feather Duster. That's really great. This card has been banned forever. I'm an avid believer that this card is going to be unbanned very, very soon, and maybe I don't know. Maybe this will see some more play because you can search Harpy's Feather Duster. Maybe, maybe not. You can see all the Harpy stuff right here. This card's like $1, pretty much all across the board. Dollar plus slowly starts to go up past a dollar, and then there's 4 pages left of this, so not too much left. But this is a really great card. The artwork is really cool. And anyway, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Metaverse. So everyone forgot about this card. This card was like so popular, and then back in the day when it was literally just the rares, like the rares were like really expensive because it was like a solo print, and then we got the common out of Zombie Horde, which is actually seeing great value. Now it's been a while since I've checked on this. Again, I always kind of talk about investing in the structure decks and kind of just holding them sealed first edition, and they just grow to just great value. It's really great. But So obviously the super rares from OTS Pack 11, being the highest rarity, are going to be the most desirable. Pretty sure this got hit to 1 on the limited list, and this is still a really great card. Now obviously we still have Terraforming. There's a lot of awesome rarities, but this is still a really, really strong card, and hence why it's hit to 1 on the forbidden list, the limited list. And it's about $3. It's about $3 all across the board. Only 3 pages left, so it's kind of like at a price where it's like I really don't want to spend $3 for this. I kind of want to like spend like more like 1 or 2. That's kind of like optimistic thinking. But then again, like $3 is really not that bad at the same time because this is the highest rarity, and plus being not only being the highest rarity, it's from a tournament pack, an OTS pack, which everyone knows as time goes on, those get older, they go bye-bye, they stop being manufactured and produced, and it gets harder to get specific like hollow foils from these tournament-based sets. Thunder of Rulers. So this is basically like a watered-down version of Waboku. It's basically like you get to play 6 copies of Waboku essentially in your deck. All of these are common. And apparently this was a short print, so if you guys if you guys are believers of short prints, the short print conspiracy and all that, there is this card, and again, it's literally just like a watered down version of Waboku, because you have to play it on your opponent's turn, and you have to play it like basically before the battle phase. That's the thing that kind of like limits this, but it's pretty cool. It's just three extra Wabokus. You can see Waboku right here, and first editions are like 2 dimes, 5+ pages, not really a big deal, but just kind of wanted to do a little add-on for you guys with that. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I used to love the crap out of this card. This card is super cool. It's just a really like I don't know how to really say it. Just a giant stall and a nuisance. Just a giant annoying stall card. Pretty cool rarities here. I used to play this in like my burn decks and just old school burn decks when I got back into the game the second time. I was playing this card. A couple different versions. There's the Ultra Rare from Legendary Collection 5Ds, which I actually reviewed not too long ago, sometime last week. I think a really good set. I would check that out. A lot of awesome cards. I would say my favorite has got to be the Ultra Rare from the 2010 Duelist Pack 10. There's also Dual Terminal 7, which is really cool too. I'm not going to go too crazy deep in this. This is just a cool kind of stall card that I don't think a lot of people really talk about anymore. Maybe just kind of forgotten about. Pretty cool artwork too. But for time purposes, I'm going to kind of try to scoot through here because I know I'm already kind of going overboard on time here. I don't really know if you guys like longer videos or shorter videos. I do a lot of talking. I really like to put my perspective in things, and that's kind of the reason why I tend to kind of go over time here. But Dark Smog. So this was made for Dark World. Really awesome artwork. This card has been just so cheap for so long, and this is such an amazing card. So it's a continuous trap card, so you can use it on your opponent's turn and your turn. And it doesn't have to be for Dark Worlds. It can be any kind of Fiend-based deck, which there's plenty of those going around. And you basically just start removing stuff from your opponent's grave, which can be very, very devastating. It's basically kind of like, as long as you have the resources, like a continuous DD Crow. And again, this is the original print Secret Rares. There's a super rare reprint. But this is the original print Secret Rares from Photon Shockwave. Really old set. You can see all the Dark World stuff being featured here. Let's see if we can find some first editions. First edition is going to be about $2 with shipping added in. $2, pretty much about $2, and that's 5+ pages. So this is seeing a little sliver of price increase. Again, I have so many copies of this because I'm so madly in love with Dark World, and this card is really great for Dark World. But it can be used in any Fiend-based deck that you want to mess around with, and start just removing your opponent's monsters, which is pretty great. All right, so we're gonna move into a couple floodgates here. Royal Command. This is the original version, ultra rare from Nostalgic Super. Call this the purple pack, Labyrinth of Nightmare. Is this the purple pack? It is the purple pack. It's been a while since I've seen a Labyrinth of Nightmare booster pack, but this card's it stops the effects. So effects aren't really predominant anymore. They're kind of hit or miss. You kind of see every once in a while. I mean, we got Morphing Jar back now to 1. You have Shadalls. You have what's it called? Subterra and all that is probably some of the more popular flip effect decks that you kind of really only see around now. But this is really old, Generation 1. Definitely got collector's value for the first edition, and it's got really cool artwork. Like, I love the artwork, like this old school, like, combat looking artwork. Let's go ahead and try to find some first editions here. No first editions on the first 2 pages. Only 3 pages left on this for this, and there's no first editions. So incredible! If you guys have this card first edition, list it, because you pretty much own the market on that, because there is no first editions of this card, which doesn't surprise me because this is just a generic floodgate. Just kind of just says no, and it's really old, and it's definitely has collector value written all over it. Mask of Restrict, basically same kind of era of card, just a generic continuous floodgate trap card. Monsters can't be attributed. Really awesome artwork. Again, both of these. Oh, I just realized that both of these are. I knew Mask was from Labyrinth of Nightmare, but I guess, yeah, Royal Command is from Labyrinth of Nightmare. So both from Purple Pack. Awesome. And let's go ahead and see if we can find some first editions. No first editions on the first page for Mask. Or the third page. Is this going to be another no first edition? Another. Okay, so there's a little repeat in history for you guys there. No first editions for Mask of Stick, original print ultra rare. So incredible. So if you guys have Royal Command or Mask of Restrict, there you go. You guys have cash in hand. Alright. Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. It took me forever to find this card. I had this card stuck in the back of my mind for so long. I was trying to find it. I was over here on Project Ignis digging through, trying to find this, going through like all the counter trap cards, all the normal trap cards, all the and eventually I went to the. I thought this was a counter trap card, but then I realized that was dumb because it needs to be a continuous trap card if you read its effect. It'd be stupid if it was a counter trap card. But anyway, old school ultimate rare, Raging Battle. Obviously, there's other versions, but this is the ultimate rare, so it's great stuff. And it's not really worth anything until you get to the first edition prints, which are going to come on the not second page or the third page. Oh, okay. So about $7. Here's a 2 of first edition. So about $7, and only 2 pages left after that. So kind of a slower card, and it's like, okay, like level 6s, like what's the big deal? But the sheer fact that they can attack or activate their effects, that is pretty cool. Pretty blowout, no cost or anything like that. And just but the biggest thing, it's an ultimate rare. Not only is it a floodgate, but it's an ultimate rare. And Raging Battle is really old now. So there's that for you. Jar of Avarice. No one really talks about this card. This card's gotten like a lot more reprints than I even realized. I really thought that it was just the 2 secret rares. Let's go ahead and take a look at the original first edition secret, starting from Cross Souls. If I'm not mistaken, I think Cross Souls was the last set that we had that we got Ghost Rares and Ultimate Rares in the main core sets, the booster sets, for the TCG before they switched and took the Ultimate Rares and Ghost Rares out, which was a terrible decision. I think it's safe to say the majority of the player base really resents Konami for making that decision, but it is what it is. They have their reasons, and they have their own business strategies. First editions are going to be about $3-ish, $2-ish, about $2, $2-ish plus dollars when you factor in shipping. 4 pages left of this. This is really great. So, of course, we have Pot of Avarice now, which is the same thing, but specifically for monsters. And you get to draw 2 cards instead of 1, and it's a magic card, so it's faster. And we have crazy rarities like ultimate rare. But this is still a really good card. Granted, it's slower because you have to set it, it's a trap and all that. But this is still a really good card because you can literally recycle your magics, your traps, or your monsters. So, in my opinion, this card is way easier to pull off, even being slow and being a trap card, than even Pot of Avarice. And the sheer fact that it recycles you 5 cards and then it doesn't really plus you 1 because you lose a resource by activating the card itself. It kind of just levels out. So this is a fantastic card. Again, really quick, the first editions, just to remind myself, yeah, they're about 2 plus. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Megaton reprints. Well, actually, I'm not really going to do that. It's super cheap. It's like $2 plus. So I'm kind of running out of time here, too. So you guys can take a look at that if you guys want to. Royal Oppression. This card is broken as shit. It's been banned forever, but it's a really cool card. You have the, I think it was Legacy of Darkness. Legacy of Darkness OG first edition rares if you want to check that out. But I want to talk about the apparently short printed commons from Dual Terminal 4. This card's super awesome. There's probably no way in hell this card is going to come off the ban list unerrated, but I definitely think it has potential to come off the ban list eventually. I'm a fond believer that everything comes off the ban list eventually. It's just a matter if it gets errated or not. And these are about $3, and then they jump up to about $6, and there's only 2 pages left of this. So this is seeing some fantastic value increase. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.